Gullah Gyal, what it do? Thank you for tuning in. If you're new to this channel, I just kind of talk a lot about I like talking about spirituality, things that help us stay connected to divine wisdom, divine intuition. So one of my main things that I have definitely started on this channel is intuitive tarot, while I'm working with the tarot and oracle cards. And I will have a little message for you from the messenger oracle today. But before I begin, I wanted to talk about I don't know if it's a lesson, but something that just recently resonated with my spirit. So I consider myself spiritual. Not really belonging to any type of religious beliefs or anything like that, because I feel like I can take from all religions. And ever since I was little, that was kind of like my goal. I think I remember saying it in my teenage years. I was like, I want to learn all religions just so I can find truth, because there's truth in all religions. So if you study them all, you'll find something from every last one of them, right? So I do what I do, and I do what works for me. But recently I have been getting more in tune into the Muslimic traditions and certain words of power that they use. And I've heard like a lot of Muslims say things like assalamu alaikum, alaikum salam, which is a beautiful greeting. And then there was a word that they say is called InSha'Allah, InSha'Allah. And it's spelled like INSHAALLAH. There's different variations of it. But what it means is in God's will, pretty much. Like, let God's will be done. And the reason why it resonated so much for me, like recently when I seen it, somebody posted, is because I'm kind of going through that type of path right now in my life, to where I am just letting things go, because I have lived my life the last couple of years, probably my whole life, but especially my adult life. I have lived that life always thinking and worrying and having anxiety about the future, anxiety about what I don't have. And over time in my healing and my process, I have learned how to kind of live in the present moment. And especially when I started doing Reiki healing, I've learned a lot more about living in the present moment. And now that I'm doing massage therapy, a lot of touching, right? So you have to learn how to create a barrier between the therapist and the client, and making sure that you don't transfer your energy on them, or that they transfer their energy onto me, right? And so I had learned how to recognize and understand when someone else's energy is not my own, and how to like shed it, like keeping myself grounded and centered and being able to shed what is not me. So if an emotion comes in and I'm like, why am I feeling like this? Recognize that, wait a minute, that's because that's probably from somebody else. That's not my emotion. That's somebody who's close to me, or that I've because there's even a situation. I'm reading this book. It's called Anatomy of the Spirit. Let me see if I can find it right here without having to go too far. I don't think I have it like within my range, but I have this book. It's called Anatomy of the Spirit. If you follow me on Instagram at her, she, me, and look at my stories, I'll post it there and you'll see the name of the book. But one thing that I've learned is that you can go to the store, right? And you're exchanging money to the clerk. And actually, I didn't learn this from that book, so I'm glad I didn't pull it out. I actually learned this from Brother Yosef. If you go Bro Yosef, he's like a deep spiritual like guru right now. But one thing he said, because he can see energies and spirits, and one thing he said was that, like, he saw somebody in a store once and they're exchanging money with the clerk. The clerk touched them and they exchanged all their energy onto that person. So you don't know where you're getting these energies. You don't know where they're coming. And if you're a host that is not aware of energies, then you're going to be an easy host to attach to and be used for whatever purpose that spiritual host has. And a lot of the times those parasitic hosts don't have good intentions. So pretty much you're getting all that, some strange energies on you. Let's just say that. And being out in this world, not everybody's on the same frequency. So I've learned how to like detach and say, what is my emotion and feelings? And I've had to even do that with my children. And as a mother, I have a tendency to please. Like, I want to please my kids. I want them to be happy. I want them to learn the lessons, to be grateful. And, you know, there's so much that I want for them, especially my youngest, because she's really emotional. And what I've been learning how to even do in that situation is just say, InSha'Allah. Let God's will be done. Like, I'm not going to worry about what's to come. And this goes for success. I mean, this can go for anything. Like, you literally can say this to anything, InSha'Allah. And that's what I love about language, is the fact that other languages, sometimes one word, one sound can represent an entire like idea. Whereas instead of breaking it down into like specifics, like this means in God's will and blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't have to say in God's will. I just say InSha'Allah. It's just a quick word, InSha'Allah. And I know what it represents. And so when I'm thinking about something, like, for example, I want to move and I want to have a new house. I'm grateful where I'm at. I've been here and it has been a wonderful place for us. And it has been our home. It has been our, you know, just safe spot. But, you know, we always want to elevate and do better. So instead of worrying and stressing and thinking about all the things that I don't like around here and being frustrated, I'm just going to continue to be grateful. And I'll say, InSha'Allah, in God's will, when it's time for me and for time for us to move and be in a different space in time, then it will be done. In the meantime, do what I have to do to get there. And it doesn't mean like don't do anything. It just means continue doing what you're doing, but don't stress over the results. And so I love it. And I even have my oldest daughter. She's 16. And I taught her. I was like, well, I learned this new word, InSha'Allah, and I gave it to her. And I told her to like kind of research it or whatever. And she did. And so now she said that's her thing. So she's going to start saying it. So it was cool to kind of give it to my child. But I just wanted to kind of give it to this video as well, to say, you know, let God's will be done. Let things happen in divine timing. Because at the end of the day, yes, we create our lives. Yes, there are things that we are responsible for. But in terms of results and what's to happen, like, most of the time, that's just divine will, divine plan. Like, our choice is whether we are going to follow that divine will and divine plan. And the only way that we understand it or know it is if we follow what's in our heart and what our heart is telling us to do and what our heart is guiding us, because that is the divine will. That is the divine guidance. It speaks to our heart. It speaks to our third eye, but yet we feel it here, right? Then we meditated on it here. But if it's just random chattering thoughts here, wipe that away. That's why meditation is so important too. Like, meditation is the thing. Like, quiet your mind for like 5 minutes, okay? If you're new to meditation, try 5 minutes. Then gradually build to 10. And then before you know it, when that alarm goes off at 10 minutes, you're like, wait a minute, I'm not done. And you want to keep going, and shoot, keep going for as long as you need. But it's just so good to just finally, to release, to not be responsible for outcomes. And that is a lesson that, oh, darling, I had needed. But anyways, let's get a good message today from Mother Gaia, the Oracle. We'll just ask of her. And I love these things. Like I told you, they come with little books. But I'm going to say this. So just connecting with the card. I call to the messengers. Please come to me. Reveal to me what I need to see. Help me to learn the truth of me, so I may be who I wish to be. I say to you, my choice times 3. I call to you, so mo to be. I call to the messengers, please come to me. Reveal to me what I need to see. Help me to learn the truth of me, so I may be who I wish to be. I say to you, my choice times 3. I call to you, so mo to be. I'll say it one more time. I call to the messengers, please come to me. Reveal to me what I need to see. Help me to learn the truth of me, so I may be who I wish to be. I say to you, my choice times 3. I call to you, so mo to be. with the oracles and tarots, there's always ways to connect with the cards, and they show you their way. Okay, so I just want to find a nice little message that I can give for the ending of this video for my intuitive tarot. And if so, I will even read what it means if it's you know, kind of a little interesting. So I'm just gonna pull the next card on the top. Will be the message that I have for this video. Ashe. So what it be, right? And what's the message, darling? Honor Gaia. Honor Gaia. That's the message. And yeah, it's beautiful. These pictures are absolutely gorgeous. It's like makes you want to live in this like dream world. But when you see Gaia, just think of it as Earth. Think of it as not the world, but the planet in which we live. Look how magical and wonderful it is. Look at, you got the little bird here, the little yellow bird. You got the tree, the little magical tree. You have the dragon. You just see all, it makes you feel like you're like in some kind of fairyland or something, right? But honor Gaia. Honor not even just say the planet here, but honor the temple within you as well. Find that space within to really get to that next dimension. And the way we do that is by honoring our center, ourselves, our being, our essence, and who we truly are. And I'm gonna let the oracle, I'm gonna see what they also say. If it's in alignment with that. Like I said, the earth upon which you dwell is more than just a rock covered in water, stone, and dirt. The earth beneath your feet, the mountains, the forests, the rivers, lakes, oceans, and the air that you breathe are all a part of the magical living entity that is Gaia. She is our eternal mother, our provider, and our home. Gaia gives us life. Without her, we would not be. Honor Gaia by seeing the truth of what she is. Honor Gaia by loving her as you love yourself. So it's how we are all connected here on this big ball of ether that we are in, right? The planet is not the world. The world is the mindset of those who have implemented and put into place all these systems and structures. But the planet itself is this. The planet itself is this beautiful, magical, mythical place that we don't always see because we're so wrapped up into the world. So start exploring nature, and then it's going to reveal so much of this type of beauty to you when you are just honoring it. And I have been getting a lot of these messages. So for me too, I am going to, I know it's getting colder, but whatever, like the weather fluctuates all the time, but I'm definitely going to take heed and make sure that I connect more with nature as well, because it's definitely giving me that. So stay grounded in Gaia, not the world, but the earth. Okay? Because think about it. We have all these beautiful ass stones, right? Your rose quartz, your crystal quartz, all these beautiful, colorful stones that literally lie in the earth. Like, you have these beautiful just colors. And so think about the magical aspect of that. And they hold all these healing properties that connect with us. So that's even another thing. Go get you some stones. Go get you some crystals and meditate with those. Put them in your hand. Feel their vibration. Feel their healing properties surrounding you. What is it that you have to work on? Find the stone that directly correlates with what you need to work on. Because it's all about internal healing, internal presence, and having grace within. And to do that is to tap out so that you can tap in. Because what I always say, darling, don't look for yourself out in this world. Look for the world within you, and you bring that to light. And I'll talk to you later. Gullah Gyal. And I'm out. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Also follow me on Instagram. And let's stay connected. Let's grow. Family.